Glow up. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this term. In this series, I will be giving you the ultimate step-by-step guide to have a drastic and easy academic glow up. This video is part 2 and I will be sharing the things to do and habits to implement during the school year, as well as tips on how to study and stay on track with schoolwork and homework. If you have not watched part 1 yet, I recommend watching that first. I will link the playlist up above. I highly urge you to follow along this series as it could completely change your academic career. Without further ado, let's begin the academic glow-up journey. The first 8 will be things to do and habits to implement during the year. Number 1. Read through your notes every day. This only takes 5 to 10 minutes to do, and doing this every single day is going to drastically improve your memory on the content you have learned. I've been reading through, highlighting, and sometimes even rewriting the notes I took in class, and the amount of time I need to spend revising for my exams have almost halved. Spending at most 10 minutes per day is going to save you so much time when it is exam season. 2. Write effective notes. Effective notes don't always mean neat notes. Effective notes have all necessary information and it can be messy, just as long as you can read it and understand it. Something you could consider doing that I personally always do is I write effective but not necessarily neat notes in class, but when I get home I rewrite those notes. The notes I rewrite are much neater and more organized. The information is concise, the key information is highlighted, and I do not include the practice questions I may have done in class, so I only have all the information I need. Number 3. Sit near the front. This is such an easy small change that you can make, which has so many benefits. Sitting near the front, away from distractions such as friends and windows, is going to make you more focused, easier to pay attention, harder to be distracted, easier to ask questions, and for people with poor eyesight like me, you will be able to easily see all information. 4. Always bring your calendar. Once you start to bring your calendar and use your calendar every day, you will never ever forget any homework, assignments, or exam dates. I highly urge you to bring and use your calendar to stay organized. Number 5. Use the 2-minute rule. The 2-minute rule is if the task takes less than 2 minutes to do, instead of writing it in your to-do list or neglecting it, do it immediately. For example, cleaning your desk might take less than 2 minutes, so instead of writing it in your to-do list, do it now. You can also change the 2 minutes to 3 or 5 or any number of minutes depending on how much time you have that day. 6. Use useful apps. In my last video, I said to find useful apps. Now, once school has started, get in the habit of actually using those apps. If you want some useful app recommendations, I will link my best apps for students video in the iCards. Number 7. Check up on social media whilst commuting. If you get driven, ride a bus, or some sort of public transport, spend that time checking up on social media and doing whatever you want. This saves lots of time indirectly, as you will waste less time on social media when you need to actually study and be productive. I've been doing this for the last 3 years, and it has saved me lots of time and has helped me stop procrastinating. I also have an Instagram and TikTok account if you want to see more content from me. I will link all the links down below. 8. Continue doing all habits from my part 1 video. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend you to watch it, and I will link the playlist up above. Make sure you continue practicing the habits I mentioned in my previous video as it still applies. The next 5 will be tips on how to stay on track with schoolwork and homework. Number 1. Write down all due dates and important dates. Always write down dates in your calendar for literally everything and anything. These could include exam dates, assignment due dates, homework due dates, events, changes in time, your work or job, etc. This will help you stay organized and on track with everything, and trust me, this reduces the stress by so much. 2. Utilize your calendar at school and at home. Using a calendar at school is going to be useless if you don't check back on it at home and plan your schedule accordingly. Make sure to make full use of your calendar by also using it at home. Number 3. Use to-do lists. I absolutely love to-do lists, and I will never ever be organized and stay on track with schoolwork if I didn't have one. You can use any sort of to-do list, whether that's on paper or on your phone. Just having a place to write down everything you need to do will keep you super organized and will help you get everything done. 4. Do homework as soon as you get it. I truly live by this rule. It has totally changed my life for the better. Here are some do's and don'ts when it comes to homework that I urge you to follow. Don't wait until the homework due date is near. Don't neglect homework. Don't procrastinate just because the homework isn't due soon. And do homework the day you get it, if it's possible. Do ignore due dates for homework. By this, I mean to do the homework immediately, even if it's not due until next week or the week after. Do any homework before relaxing and doing whatever you want, but obviously be reasonable and give yourself breaks. Doing this is going to drastically help stop procrastinating. Number 5. Follow the morning and afternoon schedule you created in my previous video. This is a little guide on how to create a morning and afternoon schedule. This is going to differ from person to person, so this is just a basic structure. You should have already made one in my previous video, so now all you have to do is follow it. If you find that you cannot follow it comfortably or there are new things that you need to add in your schedule, tweak it a little so it suits you better. The last 2 will be tips on how to study. Number 1. Create a study routine. I love to create a study routine for the weekend or whenever I have a lot of work to do. This is just a little guide that you can use to hopefully help you. Number 1. Write down the subjects you have to study or do homework for. 2. Under each subject, write down everything you need to study or do homework for. 3. Write down the due date or exam date for all tasks. 4. Set specific times in the day to do the tasks, and make sure to be reasonable and include breaks. This is a simple guide that I usually use to set up my study routine. Number 2. Find or know what study methods or tips work for you. A good way to find study methods that work for you is to find out what kind of learner you are. I have a video where I covered different study methods for different types of learners in depth, so I will link it up above. I also have so many study tip videos, so feel free to binge watch all of them to find tips and hacks that work for you. I hope that you enjoyed and this helped you in your academic glow up. If you need anything from me, whether that may be support, motivation, or questions, please do not hesitate to comment down below and I will try to respond to you all. If you are interested in this series, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and gave this video a thumbs up. I really hope that this series will help anyone achieve their goals. All my other social medias will be linked below in case you want to direct message me or see more content from me. Bye guys, good luck with your academic glow up.